I'm using an H pencil to shade the stem. Just smooth hatching. And there's a highlight to the left here, just coming from my window. Keep going over and over and over until you get the right depth. On the leaf, I'm going to use a 3H as the base. This, incidentally, is a beautiful rose in my garden. Starts off a kind of a peachy colour, and then it goes white with a kind of a hint of pink in the middle. It's got a lovely soft and subtle perfume as well. It's a climbing rose, and I've just been doing the pruning to try and encourage it to spread out, which is always a job I like at this time of year. So I've got my base on with the 3H. I'm having to do this quite quickly because the stem of the rose is stuck on my drawing board with white tack, and obviously without water it is drooping somewhat. So I'm trying to, it's a bit of a race to try and do this whilst it's still more or less in the same position it was when I first put it on there. Having said that, it will droop, so you have to kind of work around that as best you can. So in this case I'm using the leaves that I've done already to go by. There's a central vein down the middle, so I'm using 3H to do that, and I'm trying to get a bit of graduation from the leaf here on the leaf underneath. And I'm starting with 3H because I don't want to make it too dark too soon. I want to get there gradually. It's so delicate and so soft. I think that's a better approach. Okay. And where I've got the vein, the light is hitting it here, and there's a graduation underneath on the leaf below the vein. So I'm graduating here as well. And then where the light is hitting the vein, I get the point that I've just cut off the end of the pointed tip eraser, and I'm going to come along on the edge of the vein like that, just to take it out. And on the other side of the central vein there's also a highlight. You can use a tortillon just to soften your shading if you need to. This is quite an interesting leaf here, it's slightly darker. So I'm still going to use 3H just to put a layer over the top. So just to recap with the shading, go over and over the same area again and again, and each time you come down, go over the previous stroke that you've just made. So every time you cover it and you smooth it out as you go. If you need to, you can cross hatch over the top, opposite direction or just another direction, just to smooth it out. If you need to, you can do that again for multi-hatching. Right, now I'm going to put, from my vantage point, I can see the central vein and the shadow is on this side of the vein, and it's kind of curving in the middle. So I've got a second shadow here. So still using the 3H. I might actually incorporate a bit of an H now, just to get that central section a little bit darker, a little bit more oomph to it. On the other side, I'm going to use 3/8 around the edge, because there's, on the edges of the leaf, there are little darker kind of red sections at the end of the fluted area. So I'm just going to do that on the edge. And there's quite a strong bit of dark on the edge of this leaf here, I can see. So I'm using H here. A little bit more depth on the top. And what I'll probably do, once I've done each leaf, is I'll go back and then review previous leaves that I've just done, because I may need to go over and add a little bit more depth to some of them. And again, I'm going to use pointed tip eraser just to try and get a little bit of highlight here. Right, I'm now doing the bud, which is a bit tricky to do. Because it's so small. And I'm using H. I'm trying to get it to look as if the shadow's on that side and it's rounded. So that means I've got to do the shadows and graduate around the edge of the bud. And graduate inwards. And then put the edges, pointed edges in afterwards. Quite tricky to do, I won't lie. Then I think I'll use pointed tip eraser afterwards, just to take out a little bit of highlight. And now it's a case of going in and checking everything I've done and going in to see if I can go a little bit darker, which, as we all know, we can usually do. So now I'm looking again, I can now see that there is a shadow over here. So I'm going in with H. Behind this leaf. And then I'm going to go over the whole thing, I think, with an HB, just to really make it pop and get that effect of the leaves overlapping each other. It is a different thing doing this, obviously, from life than it would be if you were doing it from a photograph, because you have to go a lot quicker. You need to be quite efficient with the pencils that you use. So kind of work out beforehand what you think you're going to use. In this case it was everything from 3H all the way through down to HB. But it might be something different depending on whatever it is you are drawing, obviously. I'm now going in and darkening up the tiny stems, which in turn will mean that I've probably got to go in and darken up the leaves. So it's a case of going around, titivating. This is a very new bud at the top here, so I'm coming in with HB, trying to get that effect. And you want to make sure that you can go around the edges of things and just tidy up, because it's amazing what a difference that makes to the finished result. All of these little areas of graduation underneath that are accentuated really do help. Likewise, so do the highlights that you put in. So there's quite a strong highlight there. Let's highlight down here. Highlight here. Highlight on the edge of this one. And leaves over the other side are a little bit lighter, but because I've darkened these, I still think I'm going to go around on the edge. and just darken these up a little bit, otherwise it will look a bit strange. So I'm using H. And then lastly, I'm going to do a shadow underneath, because that will really make it look realistic. Okay, now what I haven't drawn is the big swad of white tack that's holding this on, so I'm having to ignore that and pretend it's not there. And what I'm then going to do is use a 3H, I think, to do the shadow. There's a little bit of reflected light just under the stem there. I'm just going to have to improvise on that bit where the white tack is. Shadow this leaf. So I've got to finish off that leaf as well, as I haven't finished that. A bit of graduation in the shadow. Let's just place it in first, and then I'll worry about the leaf after that. Sometimes when you do this shadow, you've obviously then got to go back onto the leaf itself, because the shadow affects what you've done on there. I'm now using a tortillon just to soften the shadow a little bit. I don't actually think I'm going to do any more than that. There's a little bit more of a shadow over there, but I think I'm going to leave that, because I think that might be a bit overkill. So I'm just going to go finish this leaf off. And for those of you that are wanting to know, this has taken me a couple of hours. I think. Yeah, a couple of hours. So from the beginning I drew out the whole of the stem, everything, and then started from the bottom of the stem and worked my way up. But it really doesn't matter which way you do it. It's just the way I chose to do it. Let's bring in a bit of HB again. A little bit of HB on here. As you can probably recognise, this is the titivation stage. This is when you find it quite difficult to leave it alone. You keep working it, keep adding bits, but as we probably also know, this is the stage where you can overwork it, and sometimes you'd better to just leave it as it is, leave it alone. Just also to say that on the leaves themselves, I can see some very tiny, tiny, minuscule little veins, which obviously I can't put in at this scale. If I were going to do this photorealistically with a photograph, then, and obviously at a bigger scale, I could do, but that's not really the right approach in this case. I need to get a little bit of shadow graduation. There we go. Let's just go a bit down here. Oh no, I'm going to leave it alone and take my own advice. Right, I'm going to show you in a minute the finished version because obviously my camera's been on the side, so I'm going to show you it straight on. Right, hello again. This is the finished version. Drawn from life. Let's go in closer so you can see a little bit of the detail. The bud, and then down the bottom. Okay, so that's my challenge for you. If you're willing to accept it, doesn't have to be anything this complicated. It can just be a simple leaf or something from outside in your garden, if you're lucky enough to have a garden, or outside when you're doing your one exercise. Just pick something that makes you think of spring, that brings you hope, and just, I don't know, just seeing fresh buds just gives you a sense of optimism. It can be as simple as just a couple of leaves. Pop it up wherever it is you're drawing next to you on your drawing board. Stick a piece of white blue tack next to it, or anything that's going to hold it there, and then have a go at drawing it. Okay? Take care everybody, and hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!